Welcome to our brand new series, The Road to London 2012. I'm Steve Pearson. We're here today at Port Solent at the Sunsail head offices to talk to two yachtsmen who are in the 49er class who are hoping to get to the Olympics next year. They're Alain and Fletcher. We sent Laura Andrews out on the water to have a chat.
Dylan and Alan. Right, how did you guys first get into sailing?
Well, I got into sailing when I think I was 11 or 12 years old, and my parents booked me on a sailing course in London on the River Thames, and did sort of a week of that, and I really enjoyed it. But nothing really came of it until we moved up to Market Harbour, and then my parents said, well, you can have a boat or you can have a quad bike. And I think I ended up having a boat because Mum didn't actually want me to have a quad bike in the end.
So you got your mum to thank then?
Yeah, and then just started sailing at Pittsford, and from there on it sort of all just escalated, and now here we are today.
What about you, Anne?
For me, I started when I was 10, so been sailing for 15 years now, at my local sailing club, Leon Solent, just around the corner, where there are many of my idols there. We had Ben Ainsley training from Stokes Bay, and there's a few, Matt Howard and Mark Howard. Basically just went sailing with my brother and my dad until I got good enough that I could beat my brother. And then he's now moved on to motorbikes and stuff like that now, so it's just me and the family sailing. So
it's always been quite a family tradition then?
Yeah, it's been a family tradition since I was younger, but now they tend to move to the motorbikes and there's me still sailing, which is
awesome.
Good.
We sort of half answered it there, but who were sort of sporting heroes, like in sailing and just like growing up as well, in other sports? Was there anyone you ever looked up to, or?
Probably for me it'd be either Michael Schumacher, something like that, or sailing wise, Ben Ainsley. When I was younger, saw him out sailing out of Stokes Bay, and just looking at him sailing in the big breeze was just insane. And then when I was learning to sail, there's a guy called Mick Lee. He basically taught me all the way through to racing, the little stuff that I needed to learn, so it's quite good from that perspective, really.
Yeah, and for me, well, when I was a kid, it was Damon Hill, because I think when my dad got me into Formula One, he was just challenging for the World Championship. So he was like my sporting hero when I was a kid, and I always wanted to be a Formula One driver. But as I got a bit older and started sailing, I think there's a little bit of Ben Ainsley, but maybe like Chris Draper and Simon Hiscox, who when I was sailing the 29er, which was a youth class, they were sailing the Olympic 49er, and I remember used to going out sailing and being like, wow, that's what I want to do one day. And now Chris is our training partner, so things have moved on a little bit.
That's awesome. How did you do first meet anyway? Like, who paired you up together? Or?
Well, we both sailed the 29er, which is a youth class, when we were under 18 or 18 and under, and Al was a couple of years ahead of me and won the Worlds, and then I was looking to move to 49er and just gave Alan a call and said, do you want to go 49er sailing? And we tried it out, and then Alan managed to stick with me when I was learning.
I was going to say, how did you sort of get into the 49er? Because it's a lot more challenging than the 29er. Is it more grown up or more?
Yeah, it's like you basically have to be a certain size for the 49. You have to be quite big and athletic for it. And when I was in the 29, I wasn't really quite big enough. I was only, say, 66 kilos, where I need to be 80 kilos for a crew. So I moved on to a 470, which is a slightly more technical class, but you can be a bit smaller. So I did that for a year, and then when Dylan gave me a call, I was able to move into the 49er because I was one of them big enough to make the jump.
I think you always want to sail the 49er when you're a kid because it's the fastest. It's the fastest boat at the games, and it's just quite a bit cooler and got a lot more street cred, I guess, than the other classes, really.
But how much training do you have to do? Because I'm guessing you obviously have to be very fit and healthy all the time. So do you take part in any other sort of water sports, or is it mainly just sailing? Or
yeah, we do a lot of. We probably sail about 200 days a year. We sail. We normally spend between 3 and 6 hours on the water a day, and then outside that we do a lot of physical training. Alain's role is a bit more physical than mine, so he has to do a bit more than me. And then I guess I kite surf. I think you kite surf as well. Just sort of, that's more just something to do and chill out with and stuff like that.
Yeah, I tend to just go. Yeah, cycling's kind of a main fitness, or rowing and stuff like that, and then it's kind of weight training in the gym just to stay strong enough to pull the ropes fast enough and hard enough that you can actually get around the course without Dylan moaning at me.
So you've got to be quite dedicated then and quite hard on yourself.
Especially in winter when it's -5 or something and you want to get out in the water and it's miserable. You just got to go out there and push yourself to the limit and actually push yourself to train as hard as you can. So come the summer months and you've got the competition coming up, it's all worthwhile then.
Well, obviously there's the Olympics coming up next year. How do you guys actually get picked for the Great Britain sort of team? Do you have to, so like a ranking points in different tournaments to get there, or?
It's kind of certain events you're selected for, say Sail for Gold and then pre-Olympics, and then there's a few other little events. So basically if you can they'll push that all together with by winning or coming top Brit, then you're likely to come up in get medal potential, and then basically get a call from the main manager and say you're either selected or you're not. So it's quite a thin line at the moment between all 5 boats if you're going to get selected or not.
Yeah, so that's obviously the ultimate goal then, to get there. I mean, how confident are you that you can get there and even maybe potentially win a medal?
Well, I think we know we can get there. We had a difficult week last week with some gear failure, but we know that we've got the potential. We just need to make sure that over the next few months, we're sailing to our potential and trying our hardest to get that spot. But we're confident that if we get selected, we can bring home a medal. Yeah,
and what are your other plans for the future in the next coming weeks? Is it just mainly training, or are there other competitions you've got going on?
We've got the European Championships in 4 weeks' time. Over in Helsinki in Finland, so that's our next goal at the moment, and we've just had a new boat arrive, so we've got to spend the rest of this week fitting it out and then getting it all ready for the Europeans.
Trying to make it look all nice, I'm guessing.
And we've got to come up with a name for it actually as well.
Oh, right. Any strong contenders at the moment, or?
It's got to have something with bear in it because we've had all our other boats with bear, so.
Oh, okay. So try and stick to the tradition of it.
Yeah.
Bear, yeah.
Awesome. Well, good luck, guys. Anyway, we'll be rooting for you, and fingers crossed.